So we were up in Seattle visiting my wife's family, and our dog has been loving their backyard. But he has a weird obsession with all these sticks. So I'm gonna go pick him up this morning. So today I just want to share with you guys just a few books that have been pretty impactful to my life and some books that I've really enjoyed reading. And I'm not really much of a reader, so when it comes to reading books, I really enjoy reading books that I can apply to my life and help me grow in my personal life, help me grow in my walk with Christ. And those are the kind of books that I really enjoy reading. So I just want to share with you guys just 4 books that I've read over the years that have been really impactful to my life. Now, I don't have these books on me right now, 1 because we're traveling, and 2, most of the time I just read them on Kindle, so I'll just throw them up over there somewhere. But the first book that I've really enjoyed reading is called The God Ask. Now, when my wife and I are first raising support and planning to go to the mission field, this book was a huge help for us to read to understand what it means to raise support in a biblical perspective. And there are a lot of concepts about raising support. Some are positive, some are negative. And this book really helped us just to set aside all those thoughts and things we've been told about raising support, or simply looking at it through the eyes of Scripture. So I highly recommend this book for those of you who are looking at raising support, or even if you ever want to know about what it means to live on support. I highly recommend reading this book. The second book I want to talk about is Misreading Scripture with Western Eyes. And I've talked about this book, I believe, in another video I shot, but this book is so good. When it comes to reading the Bible, we want to understand the Bible from the perspective of the original context, right? But a lot of times we're reading the scripture in our devotionals or in our church services. We read through it through our context of the Western culture, the context in which we grew up in. Or maybe if you're watching this video and you live in a different part of the world, a lot of times you read the Bible through your own context. And so for us as Westerners, did I say that? Living in the West? For those of us growing up in America, this book is very helpful to read and help us understand how to read scripture without those lenses on, through just our cultural lenses, how to take those lenses off and read through it with open eyes and open hearts to understand what the scripture is really teaching us and the concept of the world, and not just through the concept of the Western world. The third book is called The More of Less, and I just recently finished reading this book, and my wife did also. And this book is about minimalism, and even though we're not like extreme minimalists, like this book really opened up our eyes about what it means to live a fulfilling life in the world, what it means to have less and how you find more joy of having less, but also how it applies to Christian life. This author of this book is actually a Christian, and he explains about how it helps shape his life around living a life that's more fulfilling to serving Christ and living with less, and just how it's given more freedom, more peace, and even more money to give towards other organizations that are involved in missions or in good work, that they too can continue doing the things that God's called them to do. And so this is a book that I highly recommend to anybody who's looking to not only declutter your house, but also to declutter your spiritual health to be more in tune with Christ. And the last book I highly recommend reading is called Radical by David Platt. And once again, this is a book that will be life-changing for you if you read it. It'll really cause you to think more about your personal life, why you do what you do. It helps you step back and really evaluate your walk with Christ. Are you really serving Christ, or are you serving yourself? Are you living for Christ, or are you living for yourself? Now, this is not a light read. In this book, he has very deep questions, but the questions are very good for us to think about, even though they're very core-based questions. It really helps you to evaluate your core of your life again, to see, are you living the life you want to live, and are you living that life to serve Christ? So there you have it. Those are 4 books that I have read that have really impacted my life. If any of those sound interesting to you, I highly recommend you look those up on Amazon or even in your libraries and give them a read. Alright, so this is a short video today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't already, be sure to give this channel a subscribe and this video a like, and I look forward to catching you guys in the next one. Till then, I'll catch you later.